The opposite of talking isn't listening. The opposite of talking is waiting. My favorite animal is steak. Francis N. is an American author, public speaker, and occasional actor. Great people talk about ideas, average people talk about things, and small people talk about wine. Humility is no substitute for a good personality. Life is something to do when you can't get to sleep. As a teenager, you are at the last stage in your life, when you will be happy to hear that the phone is for you. In real life, I assure you, there is no such thing as algebra. Food is an important part of a balanced diet. If you are a dog, and your owner suggests that you wear a sweater, suggest that he wear a tail. You're only as good as your last haircut. There is no such thing as inner peace. There is only nervousness or death. Any attempt to prove otherwise constitutes unacceptable behavior. Success didn't spoil me, I've always been insufferable. If you are of the opinion that the contemplation of suicide is sufficient evidence of a poetic nature, do not forget that actions speak louder than words. Vegetables are interesting, but lack a sense of purpose when unaccompanied by a good cut of meat. Polite conversation is rarely either. Even when freshly washed and relieved of all obvious confections, children tend to be sticky. To put it rather bluntly, I am not the type who wants to go back to the land, I am the type who wants to go back to the hotel. When you leave New York, you are astonished at how clean the rest of the world is. Clean is not enough. I never met anyone who didn't have a very smart child. What happens to these children, you wonder, when they reach adulthood? Having been unpopular in high school is not just cause for book publications. All God's children are not beautiful. Most of God's children are, in fact, barely presentable. Contrary to popular opinion, the hustle is not a new dance step, it is an old business procedure. If you are truly serious about preparing your child for the future, don't teach him to subtract, teach him to deduct. The telephone is a good way to talk to people, without having to offer them a drink. Nothing succeeds like address. Children are the most desirable opponents at Scrabble, as they are both easy to beat, and fun to cheat. Calling a taxi in Texas is like calling a rabbi in Iraq. Don't bother discussing sex with small children. They rarely have anything to add. Andy Warhol made fame more famous. If you're going to America, bring your own food. Your life story would not make a good book. Don't even try. Ask your child what he wants for dinner, only if he's buying. Original thought is like original sin, both happened before you were born to people you could not have possibly met.